Hi class. So for discussion module 8, just remind you what my topic was about. My topic centered on accessibility in vacation rental homes for the walking, impaired, and wheelchair community. With my topic, I was able to accompany Sarah Ramirez and her son Samuel Ramirez, who is actually in a wheelchair full-time, to Sunriver, Oregon, and I was able to go with them as they toured 4 different homes for accessibility and to see exactly what needed to be changed or modified to become accessible to market to the wheelchair and walking impaired community. It was awesome. My audience for that was very strict. It was specifically property owners in general. If you own a vacation property rental and you rent it out peer-to-peer style, you were my target. With the multimodal aspect of my project, it does switch just slightly. It is still geared towards property owners in general, but I'm going to have a section on my multimodal aspect that is specific for Sunriver, Oregon. I wanted to do that because Sarah and Samuel have traveled to Sunriver for the past 5 years and have fallen in love with the community. I want to use the remeditation option of the Google Sites. I want to make a website for exactly what it is that they're trying to do. They're trying to bridge the gap between the understanding of what is and is not wheelchair accessible. So really, if I can take this Google site and utilize it in a way that can show potential property owners why it's beneficial to become wheelchair accessible and include those who are of walking impairment, that would be the greatest thing that I could do for them. I want to find some way that I can utilize that project to help them. I feel with my potential audience that the Google Sites is the best option, simply because it's something that they can go to, they can look at that's visual, they can read facts, they can see examples of the evaluations that they've done, they can actually see pictures on there of why, for example, why does this house not work for accessibility? Well, you have a house that has 6 steps up the front and there's nowhere to put a ramp. So there's no possible way to get a wheelchair user inside of that house. Or this door is too narrow, whereas you and I walking around might look at that door and say, oh, that's plenty big for a wheelchair to get through. But then to have those images showing a wheelchair trying to go through that door and it being too narrow, I feel that this is the best mode of my multimodal project in order for people to be able to see why and why not it does or doesn't work, and to be able to see the importance of that. I do think I'm going to need to do some more research though. I would like to do a spot on the Google site that's specific for Sunriver, Oregon, since that is somewhere that they travel and they love and enjoy so much. And honestly, it was such a great pleasure to be able to go down there with them and to walk through the different houses and see exactly what it is that they do. I'd like to be able to use that as a possibility of contributing to them. I think the drawbacks for the Google site is going to be it's new technology. It's not something that I'm familiar with. So it's going to take some trial and error to get it the way that I want it to. But I think if it's worth doing, it's worth taking the time to do it and figuring out the technology and making it work. So I'm excited to get started on that, and I'm excited to see what you guys are doing for yours. Thanks.